Ask Dan Schneider. Pamela Gilson writes in and asks me, Dan, I saw your show and interview about Judy Garland. Who do you consider to be the best female singer of the 20th century? You said in that interview that you thought that Garland and Karen Carpenter were two of the best. Well, thanks for the question. Yes, I would put Garland and Karen Carpenter amongst the top 4 or 5. I'm not a musical expert. I have not listened to as many female singers as a lot of other people. But off the top of my head, the third person I'd put in sort of that upper echelon would be Ella Fitzgerald. Again, I'm not a big jazz fan, but Ella Fitzgerald had a smoothness to her voice. Karen Carpenter had a deep, lush kind of voice for a woman. I think Judy Garland had the most range and diversity of someone who's a female singer. I can think of someone like Grace Slick. She also had a terrific voice. You don't really hear it in a lot of the stuff she did with the Jefferson Airplane, much less later stuff. The songs that she did before Jefferson Airplane with the Great Society, the two most famous ones being the ones that were re-recorded with the Jefferson Airplane, being White Rabbit and Somebody to Love, although I think it was recorded as Someone to Love with the Great Society. But that shows off some of her range and her depth as a vocalist. I'm sure that there are some people like Beverly Sills or other female singers. Nina Simone gets a lot of plaudits, although I've never been a particular fan of hers. But if I were to pick the three in ascending order, I would go Ella Fitzgerald number 3, Karen Carpenter number 2, and then Judy Garland would, as I've said, have to be at the top. She just had too much range and too much talent, not only in other fields, but she could do anything. Ella Fitzgerald, could she have sung rock and roll? I don't think so. Could Karen Carpenter have sung some of the classic musicals? Not to the degree and the range that Garland had. So that's who my top 3 would be. 1 Garland, 2 Carpenter, 3 Fitzgerald. Thanks for the question.